Hello everyone, welcome for this new tutorial. So today we'll have a look at Hunyuan, the new 3D generator from Hunyuan 3D. So here I just did create these little props over there and have this image. So you can see it looks pretty cool. But you have a little things to do for texturing, for make it a little better, and I want to show you that in Blender. But first of all, let's see how to generate this with Comfy UI and Hunyuan. I hope I pronounce it well, Hunyuan. Okay, let's go. Let's go for this. I will just make a file new general like this, and let's see a little into the web. What do we have? So this is Hunyuan. I will show you that after. But here we have the Flux Schnell. Okay, I like Flux to generate images. It works pretty well. So here in Comfy UI, you go into workflows, okay, browse templates, and into Flux. I will not show how to install Comfy UI. There are a lot of tutorials on how to install Comfy UI and Flux, and you just go into Flux Schnell or Flux Dev. It will ask you to download the models. You just have to put them into the right folder, and after it just works, okay, and works pretty fast. I mean, just to generate this, it just take a few seconds with a, let's say, middle high graphic card. Okay, for this I just did use a simple prompt, an abandoned lonely damaged ruin, realistic with a lot of details, ruined, solid black background. Okay, so I have this kind of result here. Okay, the important is to have a solid black background. It helps for generate a 3D model. In case you want to see the images I did use, I will show you that. Okay, here you can see the result here. So what we have basically for the house I did use, it was maybe that one, I guess. Yeah, it's that one. So let's see that there. Okay, you can see the kind of result that I have here. Pretty cool. And I didn't try with all of these houses. I did make a few experiments with that, but I guess it will work very well. For the testing I did, it did work very well. So I did make all the tests here, and yeah, I wanted some wells as well, so you can see some that I did here. Okay, this kind of wells. I made the same for cars. Yeah, see some results here. I think I did use this one for generating the car I have into the image. So here a few props that I can use to generate the 3D model. Then after, you just have to go into Hunyuan 3D, okay? So 3d.hunyuan.tencent.com, okay? And here by default, you should arrive here. So if you want to translate it, you just make a right click into your browser, and here you can translate here in French for me because I'm a French user usually, but here you can use the translate in English button if you are in Chrome or something like that. But basically you can use it even in Chinese. It's really not complicated to understand actually. So you have 20 generations per day, okay, that you can do. Here you just click there and you will just select the image that you want. So for example, let's take that one, for example. Okay, I will open that. It will just select this image, analyze it, keep here the 2.5 version, keep here the PBR enable, and when it's finished, when it's finished to analyze, you can just go there and generate it. So it's really easy. It takes a few minutes to analyze and generate. Usually, let's say between 5 and 7 minutes. What I will do, I will just launch that one, okay? And but after maybe, yeah, I will launch that one. And anyway, here before that, we can see a few props that I did recently. So here, this is the house, basically. So what we have in the end, it's a very good base model. It's high poly, very high poly, so be careful of that. We will see how to resolve that in Blender after. But the texturing sometimes it lacks texturing, honestly. So sometimes you have to add or to refine the texturing, and that's why I want to show you the techniques that I want to show you after in Blender. It's important to make your model more real. Okay, so let's wait a little until it comes. So you see here the final result here. You see in terms of texturing, it's a little flat on the entire model. Actually, we don't have that much texturing here. We have a little, but we could improve that. Okay. For the rest, the design here looks awesome. Look at that. Just with an image, it generates really cool stuff just directly from an image. So yeah, this is impressive. Now you can choose the format that you want. In GLB, it works pretty well for Blender. You go there and you just click on download in Chinese. Sorry for Chinese people, I don't know if it's download here, but it should be download, I guess. And yeah, you download this and you will have a GLB file into your download folder. Okay, so I will come back here into the main page, maybe I have time to make, sometimes it's pretty slow actually. It's a little problem for this website. Sometimes it's pretty slow. I think it has a lot of people wants to use it and experiment with it, I guess. So let's go for that one. Let's see what it will create with this. I will wait a little. Okay, I pause the video. Okay, good. The analyzing the image is finished. So here we come back to generate. In case you want to add multiple image like here, okay, with different views, you can just use this section. It's easy to understand as well. Okay, let's go. I generate that one and we wait for it. It shouldn't take that much, okay? But until we do this, let's go to Blender again and see a little what we can do with this house and to make the texturing a little better just with simple things. So I just go into downloads here and you see that I have a few 3D objects, the three last that I have here. Okay, so I click and drag, I just enable merge vertices and I import the design. So here, this is the car, okay? This one, okay, I import that one as well. So here, this is the house. Maybe I will scale it up like this. It looks more like a car in real scale. Okay, and the last one here over there, this is the world. Scale it down maybe a little. So here you can see the three basic objects that we have directly from the website. Okay, if we look at the texturing here into this section, we can see that, yeah, it looks okay, but it's a little flat. Really, yeah, let's see like if there is not that much contrast and it lacks a little texture to it. So let's make a few things to resolve that into the shading section over there. I will focus just on that one first, and then after I will show you that you can just copy and paste something easily to have the same kind of setup to the other objects. So let's focus into that one, hide the two others. You can rename them over there. So like this one will be the house. Okay, this one will be the car. And the last one, guess what? It's the well. Okay, so let's go there. What we want to, it's to manage the base color. Okay, the base color, it's a little flat and yeah, looks a little burned in terms of image. Okay, so let's resolve that by adding a few things into our texturing over there. So for this, we will just go there and add an ambient occlusion first. Okay, ambient occlusion will enhance these little details that we have into the models with no texturing. So you can see that you will have the shadows around the little spaces. Okay, so this is the ambient occlusion. We will mix this too with a mix color. Okay, so I just add a mix color there. With Control Shift click here, I use the node wrangler here to see the result. So the node wrangler, it's an add-on. I will show you here the screencast keys that I use. Okay, so when I want to see a node itself, I just make Control Shift key. Okay, just like this. So here I want to not mix, I want to multiply. It will just add the dark values of this into this. And I want a factor near 1.3 or 1.2 without the clump factor. Okay, so without the clump factor, it's a little too much and it's not the right place. It's this one above this one. Okay, so now you will have this kind of result. Before, okay, we had this, after we have this. Already a little better. But we would like to continue this kind of old texturing grungy style. So just with the noise texture, it helps a lot. So let's go into textures and add a noise texture into that. You can see the noise texture there with Control Shift click again. By default, it looks very generic. We will make something better by playing with the settings over there. I like the rigged multifractal to play with that. We can increase the gain here to 100, okay? The number of details of 15, okay? Maximum actually. You can increase the scale to have this kind of settings. Okay, you can imagine if some kind of ivy goes through it and gives some traces like that. So okay, we continue with this scale and increase the roughness as well to have this kind of really grungy texture that we like. Okay, good. So this kind of grunge, now we can sometimes what you can do as well is mixing two textures like this very easily with Shift D. Okay, for example, you have a scale here at 13 for the first one, and the second one might be bigger, for example, so with less scale, something like that. And then after you make a mix, a color mix. Okay, just a color mix like that. And you would like to multiply the factor for the two. Okay, we don't want to play with the colors, we play only with the factors like this. Okay, and we will have this kind of texture that looks less generic for this. Okay, so what we will do, we will just manage a mix color here again. So let's add a mix color, and this color might be something a little brownish like this, dark brown. Okay, and we will use this factor here to mix the two, so we will have this kind of result over there. Okay, so what will make this factor, actually it will add to the image here. Okay, you will have some dark places, so you can play with this with a color ramp. The color ramp will let you manage the texture. Okay, you will have a texture like this. So you can sometimes invert the texture. For example, play with something like that. Okay. And maybe, yeah, just add something like this. And if you want less, that it appears a little less into this, what you can do is create here something with more gray style, something like that. Okay, and you can see that already into this house it looks a little better. Maybe I will add a little, just a little less. Okay, so it can be very useful to add some grunge into your model very easily like this. Okay, So in the beginning we had this, then after we have that, then after we have that. It looks already better, but I would like to add some dust. And to add some dust, what you can do is use another mix node, and you will use here a simple setup with the Z factor. So what we'll do, we'll go into input geometry, and we have the normals that comes out from this, okay? But if you use a simple XYZ, separate XYZ like this, you will have the X factor. So everything that will come from the left side, the right side, for example, will be in white like this, okay? And in black, the other side. But it's more the Z one that we want, like everything that is in the roof and comes from the top has some dust into it. So everything that is oriented into the top, so it will be white. And that's what we will use to create our dust. So what we will do, we'll just add another color ramp to manage this as we want. Maybe sometimes we want a little less white, okay, if needed. Okay, you can just play with the settings over there to have a little less and give some more texturing to it. Okay, let's keep it like that for now. And so what we will do, we'll just take the original one, go there for the first, and add this as a factor to add the dust into it. Okay, so we'll have a kind of setting like this. Okay, this is far too strong for sure. So what you can do is manage the white here and combine it to a gray. Okay, kind of color like this, maybe a little more, a little less saturated for this, and you will have a basic setup that works pretty well for this. Okay, as you can see, it's not that complicated, it's just a few nodes. So from this here, you will have this after, you will have this after, and then finally you will have this, and it looks far better. Okay, so now you can put that into the principal output. Okay, and now you will have the right shader over this. What I don't like actually is the here the roughness too of the object. So sometimes I just play with a single roughness that I increase. But what you can do as well is decrease the specular if needed to have something with less reflections. Okay, something like that will look good for me. Let's say maybe increase the roughness a little more. Actually, I don't know if we want metallic into that too, so we should remove that. We don't want metallic for this. But yeah, anyway, it was here, so let's keep it like that. So now we have our model that looks pretty better. And what you can do with the nodes that we have on top, so you keep the texture here low and you select everything on top that we did create together. Now we can just make a Control G, sorry. And now you will have a group. So with tab, I come back here and I have a node group, okay? And maybe we can call it enhance details, for example, okay? And what you can do now, it's if you go to the other objects, like the well here, okay, you have the same kind of shader here. So you just have to select the group that you did just create here, make a Control C, go there, make a Control V, okay, just click and drag it between the two, the base color and the pre-simple, and you will have the same kind of settings, okay? Before, after, looks better, no? Okay, here we have the same kind of problems for the car. It will look better with basic texturing, so let's go for it. Control V, enhance details. We come back with this, okay, and it looks far more grungy and interesting. So that's it for the basic texturing that you can add to enhance a little your models. For it works for this kind of models because it's really for grunge, all things that are damaged. So for this kind of environments, it looks really good. But you can see that we can really create some nice stuff. I will just open the image for you. Let's go there. Image open here. The final render here was there. Okay, here. So you can see that you can have pretty good results with this. The rest of the image is really some basic generic stuff that I did add into the image with the polyheaven assets and the Bagapai modifier to distribute this into the surface over there, into the ground. So nothing too complicated. I really recommend these add-ons. I will put a link into them. You can have a Bagapai for the Bagapai free version, and it works pretty good for what I did here. You can have the Polyheaven for free as well if you go into their GitHub page. But I really recommend to make them a little support and to buy these add-ons. I mean, they really deserve this, and it will not be fair to use these add-ons without paying them. Okay, especially Polyheaven, because they make really good stuff into their websites. But if you just use this non-professionally, or just you want to experiment and play before buying them, you can just go into the free versions of these add-ons for sure. So that's it for this little experiment with Hunyuan. I'm sure that a lot of things will move in 3D with that, but it's life. It's just like that. We try to adapt ourselves to this. It will not remove the real modeling stuff that you need, the real modeling skills that you need to make a good 3D scene. So yeah, it can help some people to manage this and that. Yeah, another thing that I want to show you here, last thing before we quit. Here you can see it's a lot of vertices that we have. Here we have 700,000 vertices. It's too much just for three stuffs, just for three objects like that. So what you can do here, you can go into the modifier section and remove some vertices. Here you can see that here, if I just go into the wireframe section, it's kind of dense. It's still good, okay, but some can be removed without touching too much the global geometry, and you can just use the modifier here, decimate, to make this and put at 0.1 here. So it will remove 90%, and you see that now you have something that works pretty well, okay, just with that. So you can make the same for the other objects. It will work well. So what you can do as well for this, you can just select the two objects that you want to add the modifier into it, and just copy to select it. Again, it will copy the modifier, and you will have the same kind of result here. So more optimized version of the objects here. So be careful, don't go too low here. It will remove too much. But here you can see that now we are at 70,000 vertices. It's far better for this kind of stuff. Okay, so already it looks good. You can really have something interesting with the settings. And now enjoy, make some creation, please. If you like my channel, don't hesitate to subscribe, don't hesitate to like the video if needed, and that's it. I really would like to see your creations into the comments, or what you think about this new feature. And see you. Happy blending. Have a great day.